Og þá hlýðum við á íslenska þjóðsönginn.
The atmosphere absolutely outstanding in Reykjavik. The formalities complete. And the two sets of supporters singing their hearts out there as their two sides prepare to do battle here in this World Cup qualifier in Group 9. The Iceland side featuring several very experienced players, particularly the captain, Hreiðarsson. He's very important for them. And Ida Gudjonsson in attack. Well, he's done it all, really. Champions League winner, Premier League winner in England as well, also in Spain. He's been a magnificent servant over the years, Ida Gudjonsson. And his goal-scoring record for his country is outstanding. 57 appearances, 23 goals. But the Dutch come here full of confidence. Smiles all round. You can sense there's a buzz of anticipation now under Bert van Marwijk. And here is the Dutch lineup. Surprisingly, Huntelaar is on the bench. Van Persie and Dirk Kuyt up front tonight for Holland. Very important for Iceland to get a hold of the midfield. Mike Dean, by the way, from England is our referee tonight. He'll be familiar with certainly many of the Dutch side who play in the Premier League, and also several of the Icelandic side play their football in England. Hermann Hreiðarsson at Portsmouth, Steinsson at Bolton, and Gudjonsson, who used to operate in the Premier League with Chelsea and Bolton. So Bert van Marwijk has done a fine job so far. Can he just see it through? They're almost certain to qualify. It's just a question of whether they can see it through tonight. So just seconds away from kick-off then. How are Iceland going to cope here? A win will give them an outside chance. Don't forget, 8 of the 9 runners-up in the European section will go into a playoff scenario. And they'll be looking to seal one of those runner-up berths. Mark van Bommel, tough customer in the Dutch midfield. Doesn't mess about, wins the 50-50s. And him alongside Nigel de Jong in the centre of the Dutch midfield are sure to make it very, very difficult for Iceland. Nigel de Jong, who left the training camp earlier in the week for the birth of his second child, but clearly okay to play. It's been a disappointing campaign for Iceland so far, but those two defeats against Scotland, really, they're the ones that have really hurt. Here's Uye now for the Netherlands. Dinks it through. Suspicion of handball. Van der Vaart, he was clean through there. Nobody picked him up. Just caught the ball with his left arm. Rafael van der Vaart with an early chance for the Dutch. Very impressive so far in qualification. Conceded just the one goal in their 5 matches. Count had a good season for Liverpool in the Premier League. Always works tirelessly for the cause, and preferred tonight to Huntelaar in attack. Iceland trying to build down the right-hand side. So over there is Savarsson. Missed the last game, Savarsson, but played in the first 4 in the group. The Dutch with this fabulous record in the World Cup, but they've been so near and yet so far. The best side in 1974, losing to West Germany in the final, and then getting to the final again 4 years later, beaten by the host once again in Argentina. Semi-finalists in '98, when perhaps many people feel they could have gone on to win the tournament, beaten by Brazil on penalties. Is this a Dutch side that could go all the way this time? Robben. Here's Nigel de Jong. Flips it forward toward Van Persie, but he was shut off well. Van Persie, top scorer for Arsenal in the Premier League this season. Leifson kicks long for Iceland. Lassen penalised there in midfield. So no early alarms in either penalty area, although that Van der Vaart chance when he got in behind the Iceland rear guard, only to handball it, was just a moment of concern for the home side. And Bommel to Uye. Johnny Heitinga. Heitinga can play in the centre or at full-back. Van Bronckhorst. Iceland haven't managed to get hold of it so far. They'll be looking to establish a foothold here early, because if you let the Dutch get into a rhythm, then they can destroy you. Ryderson. But Johnson's flick off doesn't quite come off. Just the one goal conceded. It's a pretty good defensive record. It's going to be very hard for Iceland to break through. Mike Dean's spotted a late challenge on Van der Vaart. Once again, it's Gislason who's being spoken to by the referee. Possibly his final warning. Just a touch late there, the midfield player. So free kick in a dangerous situation. Gunnleifsson looks to line up the wall in front of him. This will be bent in. Van Persie's normally dangerous in these sort of situations. Van der Vaart's there for the Dutch. So early alarm inside that penalty area. Van der Vaart lets it go. Not convincingly dealt with. Kout got the flick on. And Johnny Heitinga, who loves to get forward, couldn't make it at the far post. Van der Vaart it was who spun it in. So the Dutch certainly looking the more dangerous side in the early exchanges. Few free kicks being given away here, and Mike Dean, I think he's going to run out of patience here with Stefan Gislason. And the first booking of the game coming after just 6 minutes. He was very, very late there on Mark van Bommel. So Gislason's going to have to watch himself now for the remaining 85 minutes or so. Foul against Van Persie. Yannick Eriksson, the man knocked over. Chance for him to bend the ball into the Dutch penalty area. That should be the keeper's. Took it well. Martin Stekelenburg. Safe pair of hands. Here's Van Persie. Van Persie seemed to just fall over there. He looked across to the referee and said, "How about it?" But Mike Dean was unimpressed. De Jong flicks it forward. Arjen Robben is beaten to it by Hreidarsson, but at the expense of a corner kick. Arjen Robben, who had a terrific spell in the middle of the season for Real Madrid in La Liga. Played some outstanding football, scored plenty of goals for them. Van der Vaart curls it in. Once again, the defending wasn't watertight, and Van der Vaart can drive it back over. Header comes in! It's Nigel de Jong! Lovely finish! Van der Vaart bent it in, and Nigel de Jong was on the end of it. His first goal for his country. And it was sweetly tucked away. Delightful cross in by Van der Vaart. Nobody picked him up. And from what? No more than 9 yards. He's flashed the header into the corner. And the Netherlands take the lead. Been a good week for de Jong. Celebrated the birth of his second child earlier in the week. And now he gets the Dutch off and running in Reykjavik. His first international goal, and it was sweetly headed home. So what response now for Iceland? De Jong was just a shade late there. Will the referee give him the benefit? That's sensible refereeing, because that was de Jong's first careless challenge, possibly still on a high after the goal. Steinsson took the brunt of it. But the referee felt give him one more chance. Van Persie. Half a chance, far side. Oh, goodness me. Arjen Robben on his favourite foot as well. You'd have expected him to hit the target. Great ball in by Robin van Persie. How far wide was that? Get a better look at it here. Hit the outside of the post. Arjen Robben could have put the Dutch in complete control. As it stands, they're certainly bossing the game. Good Johnson just offside. It's mighty tight. So what response now from Iceland? Both these sides play again on Wednesday. Iceland go to Macedonia. And Holland will entertain Norway. But by that time, you'd have expected them to be in the finals. They're almost here already, but a win here will guarantee their place. Scotland on 7 points at the moment would be unable to catch them. Never beaten the Netherlands, Iceland. Their record isn't great against them. 9 matches, 8 Dutch wins, 1 draw. And the Netherlands average over 3 goals a game. That wasn't the best of defending, though, for the Dutch by Van Bronckhorst. Just let the ball drift over his head. It could have been a problem. Van der Vaart. Robben. Dirk Kuyt flicks it off. It's another free kick given away. I think it was Steinson who made the challenge. Nigel de Jong playing these days for Manchester City, who is starting to put together a formidable squad for next season. Probably partner Gareth Barry in the centre of midfield. Once the new season gets underway in August. Heitinga. Just out wide to Van Bronckhorst. No real pressure being put on the Dutch at the moment. Van Bommel. Would have been disappointed not to have won the Bundesliga this season with Bayern. Now, Dirk Kuyt. Good work from Van Persie. Robben spins it out to Van Bronckhorst. Neat, incisive build-up by the Dutch. Back it comes, Van Bommel, that's one go, no! He scored! And the Dutch have doubled their money. Mark Van Bommel, 25 yards out. Let's rip. And it goes low into the corner of the net. It was a tremendous move in the first place. It had rather broken down. But when Dirk Kuyt set it up, Van Bommel crashed it low into the corner. No chance for the keeper, really, on either goal. And the Dutch lead by 2-0. Barely a quarter of an hour gone. And the home supporters have gone very, very quiet. Van Bommel's second goal in qualifying. Scored the winner against Norway back in October. Couldn't have really hit it with any more precision. Wasn't overly powerful, but it was so accurate. And Iceland could be cut apart here if they're not careful. Robben bends one in. So the Dutch on their way to booking their place in South Africa. And when they get there, as usual, they'll be one of the favourites. Always superbly well supported. Van Persie back to De Jong, or Heitinga rather. Now Uye. And Bronkhorst back at Feyenoord these days, where he started. Great career he's had all over Europe. Marvellous seasons at Arsenal and at Barcelona. Here's Robben. Very tricky, elusive player. Van der Vaart with the shot. Oh, that's a good save by the goalkeeper. Gunnleifsen had to be very, very alert there and agile, because Van der Vaart got hold of this. It's so easy at the moment for the men in orange. Van Bommel with this corner kick. With Johnson. Can they build up something here? No dice in the end as the keeper came out. If there is to be inspiration for Iceland, you'd have thought it would be provided by Ida Gudjonsson. Eriksson, the man bursting through. But the goalkeeper coming out just to act as a sweeper. Together at the moment, Iceland. New ball through, but just a touch overhead from Steinsson. Halmarsson's hardly had a kick so far. Looks as though he's playing as a lone striker. Halmarsson with Gudjonsson just behind him. Van Bommel. Robben just took his eye off it. Much for the enjoyment of the Iceland fans on the far side. So when you bear in mind that the Dutch have hit the post through Robben, Van der Vaart had a decent chance in the first couple of minutes when he handballed just outside the area, and they've scored twice. Gives you some indication of the domination of the Netherlands in the first 20 minutes or so here in Reykjavik. De Jong. Matchison out wide to Robben. This time he controls it okay. Van der Vaart dropping deep. Missing Wesley Sneijder tonight with a hamstring injury. He was ruled out quite some time ago, and also Affolite, who had an ankle problem. He's been used in most of the previous matches. So concern on the Icelandic bench. That's hardly surprising because they've not started well here. Very nervous at the back. Again, offside. Stenson just trying to rally the troops. That was a close call. Just about got it right. Sigurdsson out wide to Stenson. Physical approach in the first 15 minutes or so, when a couple of heavy challenges from Gislason ended up in a booking, but there's no way they could keep the Dutch quiet for long, not with this very fluent, accurate midfield. Van der Vaart at the heart of it. Van Bommel flicks on to Robert, who was taken from behind. One or two complaints toward the referee from the Dutch players, maybe feeling that Iceland is just a touch over physical. Tackle there is by Danielson on Van Bommel. Here's Heitinga. For a corner. Stenson, the man getting across. They've got to dig in here, Iceland. They don't want to make this an embarrassing evening in front of their own fans. Past the midway point now in the first half. Van der Vaart will curl this one in again. Robin rather made a mess of that. Perhaps Iceland now can break away with Gudjonsson. Beautiful play by Ida Gudjonsson. Sigurdsson, flip through. Keeper was off his line very quickly. Kalmarsson couldn't quite get on the end of it. First real bright move though from Iceland, put through by Indridi Sigurdsson, and Kalmarsson couldn't quite find the turn of foot to get on the end of it. Stekelenburg quickly off his line. Edwin van der Sar has retired these days from international football, which has given Martin Stekelenburg the opportunity to stake his claim. 26 years of age, Ajax keeper. Hutchison. And Marvik, who guided Feyenoord to win the UEFA Cup. 6 years ago now. Doing an excellent job in his spell in charge here for the Dutch national team. Took over after the European Championships from Marco van Basten. And the players seem to be responding to him. Van Persie used to play for him, of course, at Feyenoord. Oh yeah, from Matchison. He tries to pick out Van Persie, but all the way through to Gunnleifsson. Beaten twice already then, the Iceland keeper. De Jong after 9 minutes. Van Bommel just past the quarter hour. And you'd feel it's a question of damage limitation now for Iceland. But you never know in football. Here's Gudjonsson. Players spinning away to his left-hand side. Eriksson tried to curl it in, but wants to get forward down the left. Bjarni Eriksson. The Dutch defensive record in this group suggests that they're going to be difficult to breach once, let alone twice tonight. Here's Kout. Good first touch. Just ran away from him in the end. Cleared away in the end by Sigurdsson. Robben. Good looking run again from Arjen Robben. This time he's outnumbered. Neat work by Savarsson. Easily defended in the end. Can't seem to get sufficient players around the ball to get any combination football going. Van Bommel to Nigel de Jong. Looks a solid central midfield pairing. Both very competitive, strong men. And the flair on the flanks with Van der Vaart and Arjen Robben. Probably get to see Huntelaar a little later on. I can get strong in on Gudjonsson. Two players would have met a couple of times this season in Barcelona Atletico matches. I can get first season outside Dutch football. As we see that one where just got a little bit away from Dirk Kuyt. Thought he set it up nicely for himself, but he just ran away from him. He gives 100% every time he goes onto a field of play. Very popular at Anfield with the Liverpool fans.
Oh yeah.
The veteran who's coming back to PSV Eindhoven for next season. No side in European groups. The 9 groups have got a better defensive record than the Netherlands. The Dutch have had some disappointing qualifications over the years. 82, 86 and 2002 they failed to qualify. Which for a country with such talent is almost inexcusable, really. Here's Van Bronckhorst. He'll bend this into the near post. Superb ball in. De Jong keeps the move alive. Oh, Percy. How did he miss that? Could have killed the game there, Robin van Persie. He was onside. Came on his weaker right foot, but that was not a good finish. All he had to do really was keep it down, and the Dutch would have extended their lead. Van Persie's goal-scoring record, not too bad for his country, 13 in 35. just better than 1 in 3. Van der Vaart. This is neat. This is Van Persie again. Keeper got a touch on it, did he? Once again, it fell on his right foot. Much cleaner contact this time. Lovely work by Van der Vaart. Good stop by the goalkeeper, Gunnleifsen. Percy getting closer. Bommel's corner. Just over the head of Andre Huillet. Comes up from the back. Huntelaar warms up. He's been in good goal scoring form for club and country this season. Scored 3 so far in qualification, Huntelaar. Van der Vaart. Van der Vaart, Robben and Huntelaar teammates these days in Spain with Real Madrid. So that will please Van Marwijk, the fact that they're operating together at club level, build up an understanding on a regular basis. Lovely touch by Robben. One past Steinson. High count. Pulled away by Eriksson. So Iceland don't appear to have any answers at the moment. It's all very, very comfortable for the Dutch. Here's Robben. Heitinga picks out Van der Vaart. Now Van Bronckhorst. Van Persie. Oh, brilliant football! He was unlucky. Van Persie dancing through. It was so quick. Iceland totally confused. And Van Persie spun it against the post. Oh, this is one-way traffic. Free kick there. Once again, it was Gislason who came in. Already been yellow carded, so he's going to have to be very careful. But Mike Dean, the referee, didn't feel it worthy of a free kick. Johnson coming in strongly on Heitinga. Look at this move, it was beautiful. Touched by Van der Vaart. Was absolute quality. Van Bommel started it, Van der Vaart flicked it off, and Van Persie on his left foot. Well, he's normally deadly, but he was only millimetres away from making it 3-0. De Jong into Van Bommel. Could let one go here, Van Bommel. Once again, they didn't close him down. There have been at least 3 since the 70s. Obviously, the Johan Cruyff side, beaten in the final in '74. Cruyff didn't play, of course, in '78, but still the nucleus of the '74 side went to the final again. Here's Robben through. This will be 3-0, surely. Goalkeeper did well. Well, they're just cutting Iceland apart at will here. Then Marvik will be absolutely delighted with the way his men are shaping up. Football so accurate. Iceland can't live with it. A strong challenge came in. Just as he played it off there, Robin. Christian Sigurdsson clipped him. Robin's okay, but it was a very strong challenge. Robin heads home, but Van Persie doing a little bit of pushing at the near post. So this could be at least 4, possibly 5-0 already. Van Persie was unlucky to be penalised there. It was Hreidarsson who was knocked over. Well, what's the referee given here? He has given the free kick, I think, for the foul just before that by Uye. Not Van Persie's challenge. Very, very powerful central defender. Herman Hreidarsson won the FA Cup with Portsmouth last season in England. And he's been a magnificent servant for Iceland over the years. Winning his 85th cap tonight. And Persie's okay again. So just going back to a summary of the great Dutch sides over the years, talking about the 74 and the 78 side. The Ruud Gullit team then that won the European champions in 1988, European Championships. Gullit, Rijkaard and Van Basten, that was a terrific side as well. And then the team that maybe could have won the World Cup in 98, the Dennis Bergkamp side. Beaten in the semi-finals on penalties by Brazil. Bommel just maybe getting a touch of retribution. And Gislason, who's been kicking him in the early stages of the game. And Bommel very rarely loses out in the physical battle. So are we seeing the emergence of another very good Dutch side that could be contenders in the finals next year in South Africa? Because that's where they're heading. 2-0 up here, but it should really be 3, 4, possibly 5-0. They've completely outplayed Iceland, and the fans know it. They've been quiet. Gudjonsson coming deep. Getting a little frustrated, you feel, Ida Gudjonsson. Several of the Dutch players past the 30 marker, but still playing well. Oh yeah, Van Bronckhorst, also Van Bommel. But they've also got a number of players in their mid-20s, so they're possibly peaking at the right time. Good header away by Van Bronckhorst. Make it interesting if Iceland managed to pull one back before the break. And Bommel working very hard in defensive situations. One season in Spain with Barcelona, Mark van Bommel, but it didn't really work out for him there. Nigel de Jong, who got it all started after 9 minutes with the neat header. Both goals coming from the central midfield players. But Kout and Van Persie have also had chances as well, the two strikers, especially Van Persie. And a touch unlucky on occasions, but he should really be on the score sheet by now. Palmerson beaten to it by Heidinger. At the expense of a free kick. Strong challenge. Seemed to play the ball, but Heidinger wasn't convinced. Can't keep it in. Huntelaar waits, probably feeling that this is a very good opportunity to come on and improve my goal scoring record for the national side. And it's already very good. 13 in 21 games for Huntelaar. 5 wins out of 5 before tonight. 12 goals on the board from those 5 games, just 1 conceded. And the Dutch are strolling into the finals of the World Cup. Here's Van Persie. Lovely run on his left now. Clips it in, but easily intercepted. Palmerson asked to chase that, but not really on. Way too overhit. And Servarsson bursting through there on Mattheson, but couldn't foul him. And now Van Bronckhorst. Uye to de Jong. Final seconds of the first half. Wouldn't have thought there'd be a great deal to add on here at the end. Just 2 minutes. Gudjonsson. Neat run by Ida Gudjonsson. But it's all happening a little bit too far from goal. Trying to get something going there with Danielson. Again, Gudjonsson showing his frustration. Can't really afford to do that when you're 2-0 down. Got to keep the atmosphere in the camp positive. So the supporters at the Laugardsölvalla Stadium in Reykjavik, very quiet. Particularly at the blue end. It's all very much different amongst the Dutch supporters. They're thoroughly enjoying themselves. So final 60 seconds of the first half. And the Dutch camp will be mighty pleased with the way they've played in the opening half here. They've controlled the game from the very first whistle. You can see the spirit draining out of the Iceland players. They've not been able to get on the ball, get any rhythm going, get themselves a foothold into the game. It's been one-way traffic from the Dutch, and they've been absolutely excellent in this first half. Half-time whistle goes. Nigel de Jong scoring the opener, and Mark van Bommel made it 2-0. Rafael van der Vaart has been excellent in midfield. Robin van Persie has had several opportunities. One he was desperately unlucky from when he drove it against the post after a brilliant move involving Van Bommel and Van der Vaart. Van Bommel blows out his cheeks. He's worked very, very hard. He's built team spirit. He's won the physical battle in midfield. And all in all, an excellent first half performance from the leaders of Group 9. They're surely on their way to the finals in South Africa next year. It's all smiles at half-time in Reykjavik as far as the Dutch are concerned. Half-time, Iceland 0, the Netherlands 2.
Live GAA tonight on Setanta Sports. In the Football Senior Championships, it's Cork v Kerry for a place in the Munster final. And then in Leinster, Dublin and Meath clash. Tonight, live on Setanta Sports. Next Sunday morning, British boxing live on Setanta Sports. Scott Murray and John Lawton battle it out for the British lightweight title. British boxing next Sunday morning live on Setanta Sports.
Welcome back to Reykjavik, where the Netherlands are in total control and coming out for the second half in very high spirits indeed, leading by 2-0. Dominated the first 45 minutes, and the Icelandic supporters will be hoping for so much more from their side in the second half. But on the evidence of the first period, it's going to be mighty difficult for them to get back into this game. The Dutch well and truly on the march and on their way to the World Cup finals in South Africa in 2010. They've just got to see it through. They've been neat, tidy, and at times very, very skillful on the edge of the penalty area. Some delightful football, quick, very difficult to deal with, and Iceland have not been able to cope. So just seconds away then from the start of the second half. Substitution made then for the start of the second period. Brynjar Gunnarsson on. Very experienced player indeed. He'll operate in midfield. Can he lift the spirits of this Icelandic team, who were starting to look extremely demoralised as the first half wore on? Uye comes in, wins it cleanly off Palmason. And a familiar pattern already starting to build here in the second half. The Dutch stroking it around. Full of touch, invention. Although they have missed several very good chances to add to the 2 goals given to them inside the first 15 minutes or so from de Jong and Van Bommel. Gunnarsson's first touch. You would expect the Dutch coach to make some changes for this second half as well, or as it wears on. Huntelaar's on the bench. Ryan Babel as well. Strong challenge by Steinson, but I think at first Matheson thought, I don't fancy this, but in the end he smiled and said, okay. Didn't look too pleased at first, the central defender. It was a rash challenge by Steinson, to be fair. But in the end, they both made a joke out of it. Another strong challenge coming in there on Van Bommel. Gunnarsson, the man, and he's just come off the substitutes bench. Van Bommel's taken some strong challenges tonight. Gunnarsson arriving a shade late. But it's in the Dutch penalty area that Iceland have got to make an impact in this second half. Otherwise, the Netherlands are going to stroll to victory here. Steinson strong in the back of Robin. Robin rather stopped playing there. He was expecting the referee to give the decision. In the end, he got it, but always a good idea to play to the whistle. Not taking any prisoners here, Iceland. Very strong in the challenge. Can they put something together going forward? Neat cross in, well defended. Van der Vaart will pick up the loose change here now. Oh, lovely touch. Just nipped it away from Eriksson. Out offside, and Hreidarsson keen to get things moving. Hreidarsson's a very dangerous man from set plays. As De Jong rather goes crashing into Gunnarsson. It was his second one. Referee Mike Dean had a strong word with him in the first half, but he was very late there, Nigel de Jong. Correct decision by Mike Dean. So Nigel de Jong goes into the notebook, along with Gislason. The two number 8s booked. There have been some very strong tackles from both teams tonight. The referee's kept a good grip on it without wielding the book or the yellow card too often. Let the players know exactly where he stands. Neat play again by Van der Vaart. He's possibly been the pick of the Dutch players tonight. Heitinga. Van Persie's very deep. He does tend to drop off quite a lot these days, Van Persie. Not what you call an out-and-out striker, likes to play in this whole region. Here he is again. Kicks a pass as well as anybody in the Premier League, certainly. This could do with improving his finishing, just taking a higher percentage of his chances. Then he'd become a really world-class player, Robin Van Persie. He's got the ammunition, not all the ingredients required. There he is again. Lovely touch, beautiful ball. Robin's away here, surely 3-0. Once again, the chance not taken. Credit the keeper, Gunnleifsson. He got down well. Arjen Robben will be disappointed he didn't make that 3-0. De Jong into Kout. Kout very nearly picked out Van Persie. Very open at the back, Iceland. Easy to pick off through the middle. Van Bommel takes his time. Knocks it off to Matthijssen. Kout, lovely touch by him. Van der Vaart pings it out wide. A little bit too much zip on it. And Arjen Robben be thinking about that chance he just squandered. Beautifully picked out by Van Persie. Timed his run delightfully. But in the end, the finish was straight at the goalkeeper. Just been singing the praises of Van Persie, how he can pick a pass. And that was a perfect example of it. Nigel de Jong. Kout leaves it to Van Bommel. Strong challenge again on the far side. It'll be another booking. Indridi Sigurdsson. Don't think he can have any complaints. Percy went for it. He was late. He was high. It was a definite yellow card. It was a crude challenge, and it thoroughly deserved the booking from the referee. Kout waits. Matthijssen's up from the back. You see Uye on the far side as well. That should be the goalkeeper. He spilled it. Had to be rescued by Savarsson. Dirk Kout making himself a nuisance inside that penalty area. Very strong there, Kout, in the challenge. Well, it would be outrageous if the Dutch don't go on and win this game. They've completely run away with it in possession terms. And in terms of the quality of football, they just haven't taken a high enough percentage of their chances. But still comfortably leading by 2-0. Haven't seen anything hardly of Stekelenburg, the Dutch goalkeeper. Maybe he'll be called into action here, but well defended by Nigel de Jong. Van der Vaart taken over again, and is the referee going to bring out the card once more? Steinson it was. Steinson's very, very fortunate not to go into the book for that challenge. Particularly when you bear in mind he's been putting it about quite a lot. The challenge a few moments ago with Matthijssen, and one on Robben, I think it was, just by this near touchline. So Steinson's a mighty fortunate man not to at least have been yellow carded so far. To be fair to the Dutch, they've taken it well. There's been no histrionics. They've got up and got on with it. And that's the sign of a really professional, disciplined side. And this has been a pretty impressive performance so far. Can they cap it off with a couple more goals? Or are we going to see some sort of comeback in this last half hour or so? Van Bommel dinks it through. Oh, that's well defended. Steinson it was who got the header on it. Sigurdsson gives it away though. Easily retrieved by the Dutch. Their work in midfield at getting the ball back has been excellent. Chance though here for Iceland, but de Jong was back covering. Both central midfield players very good in the defensive department. And a real bonus tonight, they've got on the score sheet as well, which is a completely new thing for Nigel de Jong. Van Bommel has scored before, 8 times in his previous 49 games. So to get one on your 50th appearance, he'll be delighted with that, Mark Van Bommel. Sigurdsson back to his keeper. So you get the impression one more foul from Steinson. He's got to go into the referee's notebook. Iceland have not been able to get any fluency or rhythm going. But when it's only 2-0, you wouldn't say they're completely out of it. Steinson, good challenge by Arjen Robben. Goal kick to be taken by Gunnleifsson. Don't seem to have any weapons that you can see that could possibly hurt the Dutch side, unless they can get one back through a set play or maybe a defensive mistake. In terms of building up the play from the back, we've seen no evidence whatever that Iceland can get back into this match. This is better from them now, though. Steinson buccaneering forward down the right. Good looking ball in. Headed away by Matchison. And well defended by Robin van Persie, back on the edge of his own penalty area. That's carelessly given away, though. Van Persie's done really well to try and win that back, but they just managed to hold on to it. Here's Gunnarsson, who's substitute. It's a good-looking ball, but well defended by Johnny Heitinga. Kept his eye on it all the way. Stinked it back to his keeper. So almost an hour gone then in Reykjavik. And so far, so good as far as the Netherlands are concerned. Leading by 2-0. And victory will take them through to the finals next year in South Africa, where they're sure to be one of the leading contenders. Nigel de Jong, neat ball through. Van der Vaart, very difficult. He's been knocked over again, right in front of the referee, but advantage played by Mike Dean. Dirk Kuyt just tried to flick Robin through. The body language of the Iceland players, very deflated. They would have expected to contain the Dutch a little bit better than they have tonight. But this is a very, very fluent performance. Steinson got the tackle in just in time ahead of Robben. Steinson, who was amongst the goals this season for Bolton, Scored in the second last game of the season in the relegation battle against Hull. Does like to get forward, but hasn't had much opportunity to do so tonight. Van Bommel will bend this in. Headed back in. Shot from distance, but Robin couldn't keep it down. Scored 7 goals this season for Real Madrid from midfield. Over 3 seasons at Chelsea, won the title there with Jose Mourinho in charge. By Van Bronckhorst. Good Johnson. Now can he get himself into this game? It's mighty tough for him. He seems to be looking for support every time he picks it up, and sometimes has to go alone. And that's very difficult at this level. A third goal for the Dutch, and it would definitely be all over. And Percy goes down, but not appealing for a penalty. Percy was sent off once in the Premier League. Oh, he's been bundled over there by Hreidarsson. Nonsensical challenge, really, by the Icelandic captain. He was just falling there, his momentum took him over. But Van Persie's temperament overall has improved in the last couple of seasons. Sent off a little harshly against Stoke, I think it was, in the Premier League, I seem to remember. Challenging the goalkeeper. Good Johnson muscled out of it. Unfairly so, says the referee. Should be a touch fortunate to get the free kick there. Huntelaar stripping off, ready for action. Can Iceland get themselves back in here? It would be completely against the run of play, but you just never know. If they got one back, they might start to feel a little bit of heat here. The Dutch. Good Johnson pings it in, took a deflection, straight at the goalkeeper. So are we going to see Huntelaar for the last 25 minutes or so? Van der Vaart looks a little tired. Maybe he might be the man to give way. Klaus-Jan Huntelaar, 13 goals in 21 internationals. And 8 goals in 20 league matches for Real Madrid this season. Van der Vaart certainly worked very, very hard in midfield. Indication of how confident Bert van Marwijk is. Bringing on another forward, if indeed he actually does take off a midfield player. We'll see very shortly. Very little happening going forward for Iceland. Hutchison. true, yeah. Very strong physical player, oh yeah, but sometimes not quite so accurate in possession. Think of some of the great Dutch defenders in years gone by, Frank de Boer and Jaap Stam. It's going to be Dirk Kuyt being replaced by Klaus-Jan Huntelaar for the last 24 minutes or so. Fans will be pleased to see Huntelaar, appreciative of the efforts of Dirk Kuyt, as ever. 100%. Possibly could have got a goal in the first half, just let the ball drift away from him. Gunnarsson for Gislason. So Iceland have made a couple of substitutions. Dirk Kuyt goes to greet his fellow squad members. So just confirm there, Stefan Gislason is off. And Aaron Gunnarsson, the 20-year-old, coming on. Can he make any difference? Because something needs to happen. Here he is now on the ball. Van Bommel and Nigel de Jong just getting stuck in. Don't take any nonsense at all, Van Bommel and de Jong. I think the Icelandic players have just tried to be a little bit heavy-handed on occasions, but you can't muscle them two men out of it. Helmassen it was who went down. Free kick now to be taken by Gudjonsson. Just a touch more belief in the crowd at the moment. Came all the way across the face of goal. And it was Christian Sigurdsson. Couldn't quite get on the end of it. Watch him drift round the back here. Not too well defended. It was Huntelaar who rather let him run free there. Huntelaar chested it off, but Gunnarsson nipped in for Iceland. So just over 20 minutes to go. And the Dutch leading by 2-0. Had plenty of other opportunities to kill the game off. But they're almost certainly on their way to the finals. The Dutch who won all 3 games in their group in the European Championships, beating Italy, France and Romania very impressively, but then rather made a mess of it in the quarter-final against Russia. But they've got the players to beat anyone on their day. Johnson coming in hard on the goalkeeper. He felt he was put under pressure by his defender, Mathiesen, there. (3-0) against Scotland, 1-0 against Norway away, 2-0 against Iceland at home. Then they conceded their only goal, and that was against Macedonia. Also beaten Macedonia by 4-0. So it's been pretty impressive stuff from the Netherlands. Nothing happening. Oliver Johansson. The coach will be disappointed with the response of his players tonight. Signed a 2-year contract in October '07. So at the end of this campaign, his contract will be over. It'll be up to his bosses to decide if they want to retain him, but when you look at their position in the group, just 1 win and 1 draw from 6 games now. Well, almost 6, because it would be surprising if they got anything out of this now. Once again, delightful football. Lovely touch by Van der Vaart. Corner kick to the Dutch. Huntelaar waits. Van Bommel will curl it in again. It's a little bit too hard. Think of the tournaments over the years that the Dutch could have won. 74 and 78 World Cup finalists beaten by the hosts. Really should have beaten Germany in 74, West Germany. Totally bossing the game, went 1-0 up before Germany touched the ball. Then took the host Argentina into extra time, when Rensenbrink hit the post very late on in that game, I remember. To have won them the World Cup when the score was 1-1. Huntelaar tries to dip one in. Just the European Championships of 1988. In the trophy cabinet. This is a country that should have won many more tournaments than that. Produced some wonderful players, played some magnificent football over the years. And they seem to have a pretty decent side on their hands here. In truth, this is not the strongest of groups. Dutch were always very warm favourites to win it, but they're coming through in really impressive style. Oh yeah, just trod on the ball there. Really in trouble. It's been a very abrasive performance from Iceland at the back and in midfield. Penalised for handball, as he was in the first 90 seconds or so when it was dinked through to him. When he was clean through on goal. Is at the end of the night for Van der Vaart. Ryan Babel coming into the action. He's had a fine game, Rafael Van der Vaart. Looked a real class act. Inventive, very, very skillful. And Ryan Babel, different type of player, loves to attack people with the ball, more pace. Eriksson coming off. Being replaced by Arne Smarrison. Another youngster, 20 years of age. Plays his football actually in Holland with Heerenveen. Arne Smarrison. If something's going to happen in this game for Iceland, it's going to have to happen very, very soon. Very compact air about this Dutch side. Neat and tidy. They win it back quickly when they lose possession. And they don't give anything away at the back. The only thing you could criticise the Dutch for tonight is their finishing. They've not taken a high enough percentage of their chances. But when you bear in mind they're away from home, they've not really been troubled here at all by Iceland. Here's Van Persie. It's really excellent football, this. People might say the opposition's not top class, but you can only beat what's in front of you, and the Dutch have stroked it around really well tonight. Strong challenge by Nigel de Jong. Wins it back again. He's been really tremendous tonight. In the engine room in midfield, beside Van Bommel. The Dutch took the world by storm in the 70s with their brand of total football. Cruyff and Neeskens. And then the terrific side of Ruud Gullit, Van Basten and Rijkaard. And the 98 side that went to the semi-finals of the World Cup. Beaten in the penalty shootout by Brazil. Here's Van Persie. Was he clipped there by Hreidersen? I think he thought he was. No appeal from Van Persie, but that looked... Well, it was a clumsy challenge, at the very least, by Hreidersen. Neat work by Babel. I've seen penalties given for that, certainly. Mendes de Silva coming into the action for Nigel de Jong. Plays his football for AZ. Alkmaar, the champions in Holland this season. First time I've had a look at him. Looks a very strong, athletic player. See how he shapes up in this last 10 minutes or so. And Bronkhorst, that's knocked out of the way, really. So many free kicks given away by Iceland. But they've been outclassed. And at times they've had to resort to strong-arm tactics. But it won't be easy to beat the Dutch in a physical battle. That's one thing for certain. Great week for de Jong. First international goal and the birth of his second child. He'll be absolutely delighted with that. Interesting to see what side Bert van Marwijk puts out in the next game on Wednesday at home to Norway. Might mix it up a little, particularly with his side already qualified for the finals. $18 points from 6 matches at the end of tonight if they see this through. And the second place side, Scotland, on 7. With 3 games to go, the maximum they'll be able to get is 16. And that means the Dutch have qualified. Just a matter of seeing through this last 8 or 9 minutes. Here's Huntelaar. Strong, powerful man. Bursting into the penalty area. Defender stuck with him well. Christian Sigurdsson. Both players pushing and gouging a little, but the referee thought it was not worthy of a free kick either way. It was a fair call by Mike Dean. Good defending by Sigurdsson. Here's good Jonsson. Iceland have created next to nothing tonight, really. Here's Robin. Likes to cut in on his left. Once again, he's not happy with the physical treatment he's getting here, Arjen Robben. Every time he builds up a head of steam. Ryderson again, the perpetrator. Gets his free kick, but once again he didn't play to the whistle. It was only after he stopped playing, it seemed, that the referee actually blew up. Definite free kick, though. And can the Dutch wrap this up now? Robin van Persie loves to whip these in left-footed. Good effort, keeper spills it. Huntelaar well shepherded there by Christian Sigurdsson. Couldn't quite get to the rebound. Not really had any chances. Huntelaar. Iceland have scored just 5 goals in qualification so far. First touch there in midfield for Mendes de Silva, and Van Bronckhorst spins this forward toward Huntelaar. Ryderson, strong defending there, did very well. Free kick against Huntelaar. Looked a touch harsh. Van Marwijk is certainly getting a very good response out of these players who don't always gel so well together. A lot of disharmony in the camp over the years, but looks to be a decent team spirit here. If he can keep this group of players together for the finals. You can see the Dutch going well. Van Persie clobbered again. That was a little bit nasty. Van Persie, who's had his problems with injuries this season. Strong challenge by Gunnarsson it was. Don't think the referee showed him a yellow card there. It was difficult to be absolutely certain. Anyway, play underway again, and we're inside the last 5 minutes. Scoreline does no real favours to the Dutch. It flatters Iceland. This has been an exhibition from the men in orange. They've run the show from start to finish. Sums up Iceland's evening, really. Sevarsson just unable to control the ball. It was a careless ball there by Mendes de Silva. He got away with it. Didn't seem to look up. He just nonchalantly knocked it across the face of his own penalty area. I think the coach will point that out to him at the end of the match. Once or twice the Dutch have looked vulnerable at the back. Against a better side, you would say that they could be in a spot of trouble, but generally speaking, they've defended pretty well. Vastly experienced. Uyer and Van Bronckhorst, both well into their 30s. Matheson and Johnny Heidinger also been around a while. Rafael van der Vaart taking a little bit of a knock. He might be rested for the game against Norway in midweek. So can Iceland just make it interesting then for the last few minutes? Maybe get themselves on the score sheet here. They can do. Sigurdsson it was. Christian Sigurdsson. And some delight amongst the Iceland supporters. Corner was fizzed over just as we were questioning the Dutch defending. They've conceded a very, very soft goal. Yep, it was the central defender, Christian Sigurdsson, who got his nut on the end of it. And Van Bronckhorst rather got in the way of his goalkeeper. So have we got a bit of a game on our hands for the last few minutes? The Dutch should have killed this off a long, long time ago. If they don't win this, they've only got themselves to blame. Here's Van Persie. Thinks it forward toward Huntelaar. Sigurdsson, the goal scorer, just nods it back. Dying moments then. Just wait to see how long it's going to be added on at the end by Mike Dean. Well, we said that 2-0 was a flattering scoreline. 2-1 is very flattering. If they get an equaliser, it'll be absolutely ridiculous, really, bearing in mind how much Holland have dominated this match. The Icelandic fans who were half asleep for a while have come alive. So what's going to be added on here at the end? 3 minutes for the Dutch to see out. I think Bert van Marwijk will be very, very angry with the fact that they've not killed this game off. They've been a little bit casual when they've got in several decent chances, particularly when Van Persie hit the post and he volleyed over in the first half when well placed. Robin missed a couple of good chances. Hit the outside of the post. They've totally dominated the match and they should run out winners here. Lovely run by Robin. Oh, he's been poleaxed again, this time by Hreidarsson. He's not happy with Herman Hreidarsson. The stick he's taken throughout the game, and well, it's amazing to think that the Icelandic captain is only just going into the book. Robin not impressed. Every time he's tried to pick the ball up and run, he's been clobbered. And showing no fear whatsoever as Hreidarsson came across to him. So, can the Dutch just finish this off? They've been the more inventive side. They've had to take a lot of physical treatment. And they certainly deserve another goal. Johnny Heitinga and Huntelaar stand over it. Whistle blows, here's Huntelaar. Oh, brilliant! So unlucky. Absolute dynamite from Huntelaar. Just couldn't quite squeeze it under the crossbar. And the scoreline really gets more and more farcical when you see the chances that... Or did the keeper get a touch on that? Let's have another look on it. Oh, he did. What a great save that was by the goalkeeper. At first, I thought it went directly onto the crossbar, but credit Gunnleifsson. Brilliant save from the goalkeeper. And Huntelaar mighty unlucky. Been a first-class performance, this, from Holland. And the scoreline does them no justice whatsoever. 3 minutes of stoppage time over. Will Mike Dean add any more on at the end? No, he won't. That's the end of proceedings. Van Marwijk absolutely delighted. They hug each other on the Dutch bench. A job very well done. Van Bommel delighted. He was superb in midfield alongside Nigel de Jong. Robin worked his tail off. He took some physical treatment. Van der Vaart was excellent. And all in all, it looks a very, very positive outlook for the Dutch national side.